Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Braggins again. So, today in math, like I said yesterday, we covered the standard, learning about how to count to 100 using tens and ones. Well, today we're going to build upon that a little bit. So, the standard that we're going to be doing today is MGSC1 NBT 1, and it states that students should count to 100 starting at any number less than 120. In this range, read and write numerals and represent a number of objects with a written numeral built on the previous standard. Alright, so the students, after this lesson, the students will be able to count to 120 starting at any number less than 100. And students will also be able to read and write numerals and represent a number of objects with a written numeral. And like I said, that standard builds on the previous standard when the students had to learn how to count to 100 using tens and ones. But with this standard, the students have to learn to count 120 using the number less than 120. So they could start at 115 and go up to 120, or you can start at 100 and go to 120. I mean, either way works. So with this lesson today, I am going to call some of you guys up to the board, okay? So I'm going to put this blank chart that looks like this up on the board. All right, you're going to go up into the board and you can fill in any number that you want. So remember, this starts at 1 and this one is 120. So this starts at 1 and this is 120. So remember, on this side, guys and girls, what number would these be in that column? What numbers? Tens. Great, good job. Those will be your tens column. That's your tens column. So that's just a little hint to help you write whatever number you want. So I'm going to call you up to the board and you're going to fill in whatever number you want to on the number chart. Like I said, that choice is totally up to you. So Brianna, come on up to the board, girl, and write us a number here. Slap it on that board with that pen, girl. All right, good job, good job. All right, Ricky, come on up. So Brianna filled in the number 30. All right, good job. All right, Ricky, let's see. Oh, Ricky's going up for one of those high numbers. Okay. Ricky filled in 62. Okay. All right. Christopher, next number. Oh, Christopher put the Jordan year up there, y'all. Anybody know what number Michael Jordan was? 23. Yes. So Christopher filled in number 23 for us. Good job. Good job. All right. So, excuse me. Today we're going to be using our base 10 blocks to help us with the numbers. All right. So anybody knows what the base 10 blocks are? So basically, when we stack all the blocks up together and make a row of 10 or a column of 10, however you want to put it. Yep, so we're adding 10 ones cubes to the ones column. All right. So, so before we get started with the actual lesson, count to 100 by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Good job. So, if I was going all the way to 120, what would come after 100? Counting by tens. 110. Good job. 110. So, if I'm adding 10 to 110, what would be my next number, class? 120. Good job. Good job. Alright, so can somebody show me a number using the base 10 blocks? Show me the number 80. So how many rows would we have? We will have 8 rows. Good job. And those 8 rows equals up to what number? 80. Good job. So if I had 10 blocks, class, what would that be? I had 10 blocks. What would that be? 100. Good job. Good job. All right. So what about 12? If I had 10 blocks, what would that be? 120. Good job. All right. Y'all guys are doing a fantastic job. So I'm going to put a number up on the board. All right. And you have your base 10 blocks in front of you. Each group has their own box of base 10 blocks. I'm going to write a number up on the board. You're going to make that number using your base 10 blocks. All right, so I put the number 59 up on the board. Using your base 10 blocks, right? Make out the number 59. All right, so how many rows of 10 would I have if I'm making the number 59? How many rows of 10? 5. Good job. All right, so how many rows would I need? How many ones did I have left over? How many ones from the base 10 blocks? How many ones would that be? So I had 5 rows of 10, and that's how much? 50. Plus the ones that we had left over, so those are our ones. So count them one by one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we said we had 50 on this side, and we have 9 on this side. So we need to add those two numbers together. And what did we get, class? 59. Good job. So our base 10 blocks. We used our base 10 blocks to make 59. So I'm going to put some more numbers up on the board. You and your group are going to work. Where you're going to stay at your group. But you're going to work by yourself to make those numbers out on your desk using your base 10 blocks. I'm going to come around to each group and make sure you have your numbers labeled correctly. Have your numbers counted out correctly. Okay? So I'm going to come around to each group. Like I said, each group has their own base 10 blocks. So, and the numbers are already up on the board. Using your base 10 blocks, you're going to make out each number. But before we go on to the next number, Miss Brackens needs to check the ones on your desk. And if you have any problems or you having any trouble, raise your hand. No, I'm sorry. Don't raise your hand. Remember, you do 2 before me. Or 3 before me, and then you come to Miss Brackens. So you can ask your group members, and if your group members don't know, that's when you raise your hand and Miss Brackens will come and assist you, okay? Alright, Shelly, I see you had the number 27. But on here, you have 1 row of 10, and then you have your 7 ones. So how many more could you add to that 7 ones to make another 10 frame? So you have 7. So how many more base 10 blocks will you need to add? How many more blocks will you need to add to make a base 10? Base 10. 3. Good job. Alright. So the number was 27. So now you have your 2 rows of 10, your 2 10 columns, or your 2 10 frames. How many ones do you need to have to make 27? So you have your 2 10s. How many do you need to add to make 27? So you have your 2 10s already right here. So 2 tens equals how much? 20. Your number is 27. So how many more do you need to add? 7. Good job. Good job. Alright, so coming around, everybody seems to be doing well. Good job, good job. Alright, so we're going to come to a good stopping point. Good stopping point. So remember, you have your 100, you make your 120 chart. So make sure you put that back up in your folder to help you use as a reference, okay? And you also have your 100s chart. So make sure you put those back up in your additional resource folder and put it up inside your desk. Alright, so it is now exit ticket time. Alright. So on the exit ticket, you have a 120 chart. So you have missing numbers. You have to fill in those missing numbers until you get all the way up to 120, okay? So once you finish your exit ticket, I need you to go put your stuff in the basket and line up at the door. So I'm checking to see what you know or what numbers you remember, to see if you understand the numbers or if Miss Brackens need to go back over the numbers with you. So like I said, teaching the kids, how to count to 120. If they're struggling, I would pull them back to the table one-on-one. Like I said, we would have our little place value charts, and we would have the little hands-on material so the kids could actually visualize the numbers. Or we'll have our little number cards with the different numbers on them so they can visualize the numbers and also write the numbers down as well. So they'll be continuously writing the numbers down in order. We'll have like the little dry erase sheets with the numbers on them, and then they will just write those numbers until we get the hang of it. Like we'll do, it'll be repetitious. So we'll be continuously, so either they'll be writing the numbers, they'll be naming out the numbers, they'll be doing hands-on activities to help them memorize the numbers so they won't forget them. Because like I said, a lot of kids struggled with number sense when they transitioned from kindergarten to first grade. And as for the higher level students, I would let them go on to, instead of 120, I would let them go on to 200. Or they'll have additional practice sheets where they could work with a partner. Or for my more advanced kids, I would have them work with the kids that are still developing in this area and see if they could help them strive for great